All right, welcome back, everyone. This is, of course, once again, Guns of Icarus Hephaestus Challenge League Week number 2. We are in the Anvil division, as you can see the standings there. We had a quite an interesting game between Bully Boys and Holy Roman Army in that first match. But now we are into our second match of the day, which will be Sacrilege versus Cake. And I know Mr. Kirk, my co-caster, is incredibly excited about this one.
Yes, I am. We've been working very hard for this match upcoming, and I'm really excited to see all of the hard work of my beautiful pastries just sort of pan out in a glorious match.
Now, I will say, last week, Cake came out and they absolutely just blitzed down the Art of Warfare in a manner that I did not expect. Cake has been one of those teams, or I should say, groups that has been around for quite a while, but they've never been quite that successful at these competitive standings. They were often in, stuff like the Sunday Rumbles, or they participated a lot, but never had that much success. To see them come out and do that well, and just sweep with a really amazing 5-0 victory, that was just that was outstanding to see.
I mean, I'd like to say it was just as surprising for us, but we were expecting such a turnout. No, I mean it was. We've always been the casual clan, so to speak, and we sort of made a competitive division amongst ourselves. Which I mean, I don't like the word division because it sounds like we are divided, but it's more of a subsection. That anyone can join, and basically it's just a little more devoted to the competitive part of the game, and that very recently got a lot more organized in and of itself. We started doing, a little bit more practices. We started doing, a little bit more training. We started, working with each other, getting to know each other, getting to know our crews a lot better. And that I think at least that really showed in the last match because the Art of Warfare is not a simple newbie scrubby team, and it was good. It was a good match.
I think they were surprised at how that went as well. Now, Sacrilege, nothing against Art of Warfare, but Sacrilege is definitely one of the more deeper teams, one of the more experienced teams. It's gonna be quite hard to pull off that same kind of same kind of approach against this team, especially on a map like Battle on the Dunes.
Absolutely. I mean, Cake has always been a more brawly centered team. We've never been snipey. That's just been part of, there are no long range fire weapons other than the flare gun, we always say. But Battle on the Dunes is just, the snipe map. There's cloud cover, but, more like cloud hindrance, and there's some hard cover in some places somewhere. And Sac has got some great gunners on their team, and I don't know, we've spent a lot of time trying to figure out exactly what we're gonna do and how we're gonna do it, and we're gonna see how it plays out here in just a few minutes.
Yep, and of course, let's see, they are running double mobulas, which I'm not too surprised at. It's a very effective ship, especially at long range. Looks like they've got Hades Gap Mortar? Oh, they've got Artemis on the side wings and Hades up top. That's kind of an interesting loadout still. And make sure it looks like they've got Merc up top, double Artemis, Flare, Mine Launcher. So they've got one closer range going on. This is not quite a typical Mobula loadout from either of these ships. Usually what you'll see is a long range gun up top and then two on the bottom decks and then maybe like utilities on the side. At least that's how I run my Mobula, but it's interesting to see double Artemis wings with the Hades up top and then Gap Mortar bottom.
I think the idea is that, when you're at long range sniping, you don't really need to get to the hull and balloon as often as you would need to if you got into a brawl situation. So, you've got the, well, I say gunner, but, the person shooting the gun up top on the Hades and, the people on the other two engineers on the top deck. And I mean, that's at least on the Hurricane Walter. On the Matre, those arties are on the bottom decks, so,
Yeah.
and the utilities on the top.
Yeah, so they definitely have that a little bit more traditional style, and I too will have kind of the same lineup. Personally, my Mobula, the one that I've been trying to run, is a Hades in the 1 and 3 slots, and then a light flak in the 2 slot. I think that's what I've been trying to run, and then an Artemis on 4 with a flare gun on 5. So.
My Mobula has 5 Banshees.
As a,
Throw that out there.
why am I not surprised that someone from Cake has a Mobula with 5 Banshees?
If anyone is surprised, I would be surprised.
Yeah, no, the other thing I do with the Mobula, of course, is when the Merry Men used to run their All Mine Mondays, just to get that extra M in, I would also run it as a Mobula because, the more M's you can get in a For those who don't know, it was Merry Men's Monday
Mine Madness?
Mine Madness, but I like to add in Mobula as well.
Man, I never got in on one of those. They came around the time right as I was getting super busy, and I was never able to get in one, and now they don't do it anymore.
Yeah, it's it's one of those things that kind of comes around and goes. I'm sure we haven't seen it for the last time, but we are getting these teams.
Oh,
Well,
psych.
I was gonna say we are getting any of these teams readied up, but yeah, they
looks
need
like we got to
to.
get going in 15 seconds anyway. All right, well, here we go.
All right, so we are gonna get started here once again. This is Sacrilege versus Cake in match number 2 of week number 2 of the Hephaestus Challenge. This is, of course, the premier league for Guns of Icarus Online, and should be quite an interesting match here. We are on Battle of Dunes, as you see, and we'll see if Cake can continue their momentum from last week, or if Sacrilege will once again reign supreme. And let's get a quick loadouts going on here. And once again, on the Hurricane Walter, we've got that Hades up top with Gap Mortar on the bottom decks, and Artemis out on the wings. That is, of course, Tropo's ship. And on the Matri, I don't even know how you want to pronounce it. We've got Mercury up top with Artemis on the bottom deck, flare gun on one wing, and a mine launcher on the other. That is, of course, Cassius Krios' ship.
And then we have the VSS Cakeberius III, piloted by Melina Krabanathi, which is that Carronade Flamer Piri we saw last week. And he's got a double Artemis on the side. And then Fozzie the Pira, which has double Merc forward with Gat Artemis on the side. So actually fairly similar to a Piri we just saw last match. And that is piloted by Fox. Please don't call him Q Fox P. He will get very angry.
I wouldn't call him QFox I'd call him like
Quafox.
Quafox. Anyway, now last week, correct me if I'm wrong, were you guys running a Lumberfish last week?
Yes, that is correct.
So I'm kind of interested to figure out why you wouldn't bring that on a map where Lumberjacks do very well against 2 ships, which Lumberjacks are very effective against.
Well, we didn't practice with the Lumberjack because we thought for sure Sac would be bringing one, and we're not going to be able to outlumber some of their gunners who we thought for sure they would be bringing. And I mean, obviously, there are no Lumberjacks on Mobulas, so we've still got general ideas. We still anticipated sniping, which looks like is what's going to happen. So, like I said, we're going to see how this pans out.
Yeah, now, maybe it's all for the best, of course, with that many Artemis going on and with a Mercury that Lumber probably would have had a hard time staying alive and up and well enough to shoot. And double Mercury, I actually, now, personally, I hate double Merc fronts on Pyrus. It is one of my least favorite builds to play and to play against. But against Mobulas, I do think double Merc fronts do extremely well. The Mobulas have such little hull and such little armor, and those double Mercs, even if they just break your armor, if you can get those charged shots onto the hull after the armor is broken, it will kill a Mobula just by itself.
Yeah, and I mean, I've heard this was before my time, but I've heard horror stories of double forward Merc Prometheans back more over a year ago. How it was horribly overpowered, and people had to make gentlemen's wagers not to bring them into competitive games.
Yeah, it was. It's especially if you get people to fire them accurately. It wasn't
Mm.
the hardest weapon to fire, but it also wasn't the easiest. If you could connect with them, it was just absolute mayhem. Now, Cakeberius has been spotted, so the Sacrilege team does know where the Cake team is. Cake should generally know where the Sacrilege team is as well,
Yeah, the
considering they
red
have seen
spawn.
a few shots going on.
This is an interesting place that they've set themselves up in. It's good positioning, but they've got a little bit of space to backpedal. If things go bad, and it doesn't look like a lot of clouds are blowing through this area, so that looks like they found themselves a nice little hangout.
Yeah, and they can definitely use the not only the curvature of the dunes to hide from shots, but they can also move forward into those ribs as they are doing now,
Yeah.
or maybe even use this giant wreckage. Oh, wow! If you actually go beneath the earth, there's a piece of this giant wreckage down here. Interesting.
Oh
You
yeah.
can actually see
Look at
that
that.
all. You can actually see it's crazy if you move your camera down. You can actually see a lot of stuff that's down
Hidden
underneath the ground, but
to the world.
we are trying to look up instead of down as these two mobulas have moved forth now, and it doesn't look like Cake Team is doing much else. They're kind of just sitting around this sunken boat over here.
I think what's going on is excuse me if I ever say we. If I say we, I am referring to Cake. If we don't know exactly where they are, we might have a general idea because we know where the red spawn is, of course, but their exact position might be trying to pinpoint right now.
Yep, and we've got Cake Team now backing up as they I'm not exactly sure what the thought behind it is, but we rarely do with these captains. We think sometimes they should zig instead of zag, and maybe sometimes they'll go this way instead of that way, and it's always some train of thought that we try to pick up on, but I'm not quite sure what that was in here. Now,
Is
we
that a
are getting
spot?
some spots. There's
Yeah,
a spot
wow.
on Hurricane Volter and a spot on Cake Barrius, and some shots being exchanged, but nothing hitting yet. It looks like that is actually out of Artemis range.
Is it out of Merc range? It is not.
Yep, definitely
Ooh,
those Mercs starting to hit. Flamethrower going out.
flamethrower. Oh, all right. Those Lesmok. It's good stuff.
Yep. Now, Maitri is charged on fourth, and they're getting a little bit ahead of themselves here. Those double Mercs from Fozzie the Pyra, if those would have continued to connect there, Maitri actually would have been in a little bit of trouble as... Yep, there we go. Almost losing armor there. They did still lose an engine, which definitely didn't help them any, but now they are in the clouds and losing that spot.
Yeah, and I saw them definitely taking advantage of the impressive vertical maneuverability of the Mobula. He was going up and down to dodge Merc shots, and even still we were still hitting him.
Yep, and so we get a little bit of a standoff going on here now. And that dust cloud, which actually wreaks havoc on mobulas. I don't know if you
Ugh.
ever had a mobula and those dust clouds.
That's the sort of thing where you go, okay, we'll get those utility guns later. Focus on the things that are keeping us alive.
Yeah, well, I don't. Had a? I don't know. Have you flown many mobulas through dust clouds? Because it seems like the dust cloud actually pushes you down if you're in a mobula.
I'm not a Mobula man. I never got the hang of them. I never got although speaking of Mobulas, a little fun fact: Cake, the official birthday of Cake, is the same as the Mobula.
No.
So
Wow.
we're exactly as old as the Moby is.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so Hurricane Volter is still getting shot at here by Fozzie the Pyro. They did have a spot on him for a while there, but are going to move out of that and not really take any serious damage. Walter was in a little bit of trouble there for a few moments earlier on, but they managed to escape without taking any permanent damage. And still, Fozzie the Pyro has got a good beat on these two Mobulas, and Mobulas definitely have to be wary of double Merc front.
Ooh, I was just about to make a mention of how Cake Beers was being really stealthy, and he had this nice cloud rolling in, and he could really get the drop on these guys. And I was
then
waiting for
flares
you to
came
finish
out.
talking, and right as you finished, someone shot a flare.
Yep, so Cakebarius now coming on fourth, and looks like he is going to get focused on, but none of those shots are hitting, and Fozzie the Pyro is actually coming fairly close here and is going to try to start taking on Hurricane Walter. Cakebarius finally getting some shots in on him as well. Going to back on out of here. Fozzie the Pyro ducking below this dune to avoid any return fire, but they are still having their arcs on these two Marbulas, and, you know, they're doing decently against them so far.
Yeah, and that Mobula, those mobbies still have about half the map to back up into, but it's quite a bit before some more cloud cover comes in. Although, once again, we got to be careful because they've got a lot more snipey weapons pointing at us than we've got pointing at them. We just got to keep that at range.
Yeah,
looks like what we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Once you get, you can see where those Artemis are exploding through the air basically right before they hit Fozzie the Pyro. Fozzie the Pyro just backed up enough to be not only out of the way of this sandstorm, but out of that Artemis range, and we kind of get a reset once again here.
Yeah, and I mean, there's still been no permanent damage to anyone's hull, so it's like still no one has any advantage.
Yep. Now Cakebarius actually got spotted here once again with that excellent flaring going on by the Sacrilege team, and they are getting a little fairly peppered here. But Hurricane Walter taking a lot of shots in return from those double mercs, and here comes the armor.
There's the first perma hull bit, yay!
And
Two cake.
Continuing on hitting that Mobula is Fozzie the Pyro, and definitely a good way to get that double team going off on one of your ships is to start slamming your own shots into one of your enemies.
Yeah, and I mean, the funny thing about Mobulas especially is, it requires two different people to attach to, repair that hull and repair that balloon. So, when, that hull starts going down, you've got someone who's not shooting, and, the thing about the Mobula is it does shooting. It's got 5 light guns pointing in the same direction. Shooting is life.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, the Mobula's greatest defense is its offense.
Exactly.
That and its vertical movement. Vertical movement is pretty solid as well. Now they just actually flared themselves here, which is probably not quite what they wanted to do.
Yeah, right as this cloud rolls in, so they're not going to be able to... Ooh, that... If Cake takes advantage of this... No, cloud's way too short. Good thing I'm not calling the shots.
Yeah, unfortunately, now the problem is that Cakebarius has been able to do absolutely nothing. They have been around this wreckage here. They've been able to just hit with nothing. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't just kind of turn their sides and maybe start trying to pepper with those Artemis at the same time that Fozzie was going
they
through.
did at one point. I saw some Artemis explosions going down close to the one of those Mobulas. So I don't know.
All right, so looks like we have a little bit of lag problem coming in from blue side, but we'll see how that ends up. Regardless, for now, Hurricane Walter is the only ship that's taken any sort of major, or not even major, but any sort of permanent damage.
Yeah.
And that is minor at that.
I mean, Cakebarius is just, obviously with that build, with that flamer carronade, I'm not afraid of spilling any secrets. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. They've been trying to close the distance. That's been their plan, to get in close. But, they've just set themselves up in, situations that whenever Cakebarius has a cloud to get in on, they've just flared it up and seen it coming. So, he's been having trouble.
Yeah, and that's a very good job with just one flare. I think it's only one flare from the Sacrilege team, and they've been doing a very good job of getting it exactly where they need to. They know, the layout of this map, and they know where Cakebarius was trying to come from. And once you don't see a pyro for a while that has a flamethrower carronade side, you know what? Probably a good idea to start flaring clouds.
Yeah, and there's not many clouds. They come in big clusters, but there are not many of those clusters. So, they've been able to think, oh, hang on, this flank is kind of exposed, let's flare. Oh, there's Cakebarius. And, he's then at that point forced to back out to avoid the plethora of arties locking in on him.
Yep, and we're getting maybe a little bit of...
lag. Wow, apparently massive lag on the Fozzie the Pyro.
And so we'll see what happens here as had a slight pause called there.
Huh. This is certainly very interesting. We're having, lags and pauses, and we're trying to sneak around and get in, and they've just flagged up once again Cake Cloud. I don't know, but it looks like they're
Cake
setting
Bears
up for a
actually
pincer.
might just be able to get in here. They haven't spotted. Okay, they definitely spotted him now, and both these modules are going to turn immediately. And this could go very badly here for Cake Bearius. His Faucet Pyra is not really in any shape or form able to assist. They are quite far away, and all they can do is hope to hit with some stuff. Yep.
It doesn't looks like he's probably going to get into cover before he loses anything too. Well, the Mobulas
Walter,
are definitely pursuing.
Walter definitely, once again losing his armor to the Faucet Pyra, and those shots continue on in. It's going to be hard for that Cake Bearius actually almost losing his own armor in the meantime. It's a very well done by Sacrilege there of making that snap judgment call of turn, now, fire, now.
And, especially for a Mobula, Spire, the other glass cannon, can turn, shoot, no big deal. Mobulas, I had the comparison made to be once that the ship turns like a bar of soap, which is very, very accurate, I've found.
No, and it looks like Cake is going to make a move here as they're coming with both of these Pyras around both of these sides. Oh no, Fozzie the Pyra is shooting straight into that engine, and they're going to slam off the side of the Leviathan or whatever you want to call it there, and that's not going to do well for them. And here comes the Gatling fire from Hurricane Walter. Can Cake Bearius charge on in here to save his teammate as Fozzie the Pyra getting absolutely hammered by these double modules now, losing his permanent hull armor, but
no permanent hull damage.
Yeah, no permanent hull damage yet. Thankfully.
There's like a pixel gone, I think, maybe.
Yeah, but this has left Cake Bearius the opening he needed, and he is going to get right on in here using that flame and carronade on the Hurricane Walter. Can he survive the onslaught that is going to be returned from him by the Matri, though? Getting a nice ram onto Hurricane Walter. Oh, who's going to take the first?
Cake Bearius is definitely going to get one kill. The only question is he going to be able to turn around and get the other guy?
I'm not sure. He's taken a lot of damage here and continues on getting hammered. I'm not sure if Cake Bearius is actually going to be able to survive this as he has to continue moving on.
And I think he's going to take cover around this corner. And, he got some good perma out on the Hurricane Walter and definitely gave him a spook. But is he going to regret the move? It doesn't. It looks like he's gotten away more or less scot-free. They're not going to. Hurricane Walter's not going to advance anymore with Fozzie right there, and his ally way back.
Yep, still getting some Gatling shots on the to Cake Bearius, but pretty much stopped that almost immediately. Fozzie the Pyra is almost no balloon left, so hopefully he'll get that repaired because it is about to go down once that Hades hit there and armor down, and it's gonna start getting
balloon
peppered
is
here.
Down.
Oh, and this is a bad combination of both your armor and balloon down at the same time, but they do get it back up before any catastrophic.
Cake Bearius making a move through the sandstorm. Oh, he's crazy.
Is he trying to do something? He's going through the middle here now, and he does have to watch out. There are mines all over the place down here as well. And Cake Bearius is where is he?
Position, I think.
Yeah, okay. He is just sitting on the side over here now. All right. I thought he was actually going through the middle of the wreckage here, but
I see.
Looks like he was still on the outside.
Ooh, and this match is about half over, and there's been some action. There's been a couple sequences of intense action, but. And, Hurricane has definitely taken quite, about half of his perma's gone. But it looks like, we've reset back to where we were before.
Yeah, that was a nice charge by Cake Bearius, but I think he got a little squeamish there. Didn't like the fact that he had his back turned to the other Mobula and just decided, you know what? I got a nice ram. I did some damage. Let's continue to move before the other Mobula destroys me.
Yeah, and that was a great call by Melon, and he definitely was able to escape that with minimal perma-hull damage. He wasn't quite able to scrape out that kill, but definitely gave those engineers in the Hurricane a heart attack. And maybe they'll be a little bit more eager to jump off those guns and onto the repair components now. Keep things, jumping off guns. Do they have chem spray? No, they got extinguishers, so...
No, that flamethrower can do fairly well then if you can get everything lit on fire, but it didn't do as much damage as they wanted to. That's for sure. Of course, the amount of damage that you want to do is the one that kills your enemy ship.
Is that what this game's about?
Shockingly, you might not think it sometimes, but it is in fact about getting actual kills. All right, Cakeberius once again trying to come up around the side here, but he's gonna find himself in open space here once he turns this corner.
Well, I mean, the thing is that those Mobies are definitely focused on Fozzie, and when you've got everyone shooting, nobody's looking. And you know that
this. Look, you sometimes think that, but I have found that someone's always watching, as you can see, Hurricane Walter, especially once you're getting the Artemis shots on you. Oh, and this actually can do very well. Oh my God! If some of those Artemis shots can connect here, and
wow, there was another large chunk out of the Hurricane. If the trend continues, we might be able to just chip away one of those Mobulas, and then.
Yeah, we've had a couple of strange games here with these very long, drawn-out matches. Not a whole lot of kills, but Cakeberius has got to be careful now as both of these Mobulas now turning around and chasing down that Pyra, and Sacrilege still doing a very good job of focus firing.
I mean, it's almost like we've sort of got like a little system here where we've got the two Mobulas, and then each Piri has sort of zoned itself on the outside, and when the Mobulas focus on one,
we might need
the
a
other
pause
one
here
makes a move.
as Fox just disconnected.
All right. Oh, we're getting pauses. All right,
So,
all
yep,
right. We got official pause.
We got a pause coming in. Then pauses, for those of you who don't know, means
We still got shots
no
coming
more.
from
Yeah.
Sac. All right, no permanent hole, thank the Lord.
Yep. So pauses mean you stop all firing. You cannot repair. You cannot move. You have to basically get off all
Guns.
all guns, and keep whatever it is.
Are you allowed to repair during a pause?
I don't think so. But considering the Matri kept on shooting in this case, kind of like, all right.
Tropo. All right, Fox is back, seeing if he's ready to repilot the ship, and it looks like he is. All right, well. Oh man. All right, let's see where this goes from here. It looks like both Piris are backing up again and giving out that little mince around the Leviathan, is it? In
Sorry,
the middle
say
here?
again?
There's the Juggernaut and the Leviathan.
Yeah,
and
I think
one's on. I can never remember which is which.
Yeah, because one of them is on Duel at Dawn, I believe,
And
and
the
I
other
don't.
one is on Dunes and
Yeah,
Scrap.
I don't.
Let's see.
actually
Does it
know.
say in the little map
No, it
description?
doesn't.
So inconvenient. Maybe that's the next thing we need.
I think this is the Leviathan, and the one on Duel at Dawn is the Juggernaut.
See, I thought the opposite. So one of us is wrong. One of us is right. Maybe we just switch off every time.
Oh, what is going on here is the Matri is actually coming into the face of the Cakeberius and has lost actually 4 of his guns through that sandstorm. What exactly is Sacrilege trying to do here?
I mean, if
This is coming into the mouth of the beast where they're going right now.
I have no idea what they're trying to do. I guess they're trying to make a final push because there's it should be about 10 minutes left at this point.
Yeah.
But they're at the pushing disadvantage.
Yeah, it's a very interesting way to go around here. I don't know, maybe they were trying to flank behind the 2 Pyras or something, but hey, they've got to be careful here, as those Mobulas don't have a whole lot of health. You can't survive that for sustained fire from these double Pyras. It's got a lot more tanking capabilities, but looks like both of these teams are gonna just kind of back off for now.
Yeah, and Piri is definitely a lot tankier than those Mobulas, and I'm afraid to make predictions after that last match, but I feel like once it comes down to we get that 5-minute counter, I feel like the Piris are going to be the ones who just lead the charge, and that can go either way.
Yeah, I mean, look, at this point, the 2 Pyras can actually just charge one of these Mobulas, just try to sandwich it or something. Hurricane Walter trying to escape out of some arcs there, doing a very good job of maneuvering, not getting hit by these mercs.
Yep. I'm sure he is. Well, I don't know. A pilot probably can't even see that.
Yeah, they will just barely.
He's gonna tap it.
Nope, he's got it. No, nothing bad going on there. As far as the Pyra.
Cakeberius has lost a couple components.
Yeah, he's probably sitting in one of those sandstorms.
Yeah. All right. I just saw that Roman car. I think took those out, and I just what? Sand clouds, of course.
Absolutely. All right, positive Pyra returning fire onto the Matri. Taking down half that hull damage. Cakeberry is going to try to go around once again on the other side of the Leviathan this time.
Alright, looks like we've reset up our little our unit of multiple attacks, and I don't know, it's worked for us. We've definitely got a permahull advantage on them. Although Fozzie's taking some. No, he's fine now.
Yep, Fozzie is sort of the focus at this point. They have to know that the Cakeberry is going to be somewhere around though, and they should be able to spot this basically at any second as the Cakeberry is coming around on the side here.
Oh, he's got a nice cloud rolling in to cover him. Then the flare is on. Is that on the Hurricane or is it on the? No, the flare is on the Maitre.
Le Matre.
Matre.
Le Maitre. Fozzie the Pyro is still taking a lot of that fire. But they are, I think, mostly out of range of most of the, not only the Hades, but the Artemis. And so the only thing that's hitting them right now, I think, is the, I don't know, actually, they are getting hit by everything here.
Metal Cake Solid over here is moving in on the Matre completely undetected.
But the problem is that they're going right into a 2v1, and the Mitri and the Hurricane Volter have that cover of that engine right there. Cakeberry is going to try to come in and finish off the Hurricane Volter here. Will they be able to do it? Nice.
There's the
little bump there.
Oh, but he's lost hull himself.
Oh, and the Cakeberry is almost gets taken down here.
Oh, but he's above
just gets it back up.
Artemis.
Just gets it back up. Hurricane Volter.
Man, shoot vent. They're trying to get that hull and armor back up, but neither of them have returned yet. Now they're both here, spreading those licks of fire down in the Matre, but who knows how much longer until the Hurricane Volter starts returning fire. Fozzie needs to come in and help if Cakeberry is... Oh,
here comes the Hades shots, but all of those Hades shots are missing. Almost every single Hades shot missed. One hit. Now they are getting that Gatling in, and that's going to be very bad. Matri losing his armor as well. Cakeberry is taking a lot of shots here, but Matri's...
Do we not have explosives? There's no explosives.
There's currently no explosives, and Cakeberry is gonna bounce along the ground here, possibly, and that could spell doom for them, but they just get out of range, and they are out of range of the Gatling as well now, so getting that armor back up. Fozzie is getting hammered here.
Not in the best position for the Cake team right now. They're at a lower, and they're at a sniping disadvantage.
Uh-oh, and here come the shots onto Fozzie the Pyro, almost getting taken down there. Can they get their armor back up? They do.
Hades are just missing by inches.
Yeah, there's been a lot of Hades missing so far, but this is going to be very hard for Fozzie to finally escape here, and any shot will take him out, but no, it gets his armor back up.
And then Cakeberry is moving in on the Matre once again in the cloud cover, has not been spotted. Now they're turning, but is it too late?
Yeah, here comes that full-on
There's no
facial.
spots for the Hurricane to help out, but their perma is just so low.
Yeah, Matre losing his balloon. Nice bump, but Cakeberry is...
I think the Hurricane
armor
is
going down on the Cakeberry and... Oh my god! Slivers!
Have a heart attack.
Slivers left, but Cakeberry is gonna get followed, yep.
There he goes. Ah, man. Although, both Mobilus... Okay, what, 12 minutes? I have no idea how long ago that was. I've not been paying attention to the chat.
I think there's a spawn for blue team, basically right here. I think there's one right in the...
I think they are in the blue spawn.
Yeah, oh yeah, they're definitely in the blue spawn. I don't know if they have one right... Yeah, there we go, right above them. That's where I thought it was going to spawn. And right now, both these modules got to be careful. Hurricane Volter has lost his armor fully. Fozzie just being a little bit trepid. See what Cakeberry decides to do here. They are now spotted. If they should, yeah, they need to run in and kill that Hurricane Volter right now. Otherwise, this is going to go very bad for them. They got about 5 minutes left. They need to get 1 kill minimum. Armor down on the Hurricane Volter, and here comes the Cakeberry, and there it goes. But now Cakeberry is going straight into the fire of the Matri, and that is not going to do very well for them. Matri can keep on backing up. But they are getting hit. They're getting hit by the mercs from Fozzie, and there goes the armor. Oh, can they come and pull forward? Oh, Cakeberry's lost, I think, his main engine.
Hurricane Volter, of course, spawning out in the middle of nowhere because there's no red spawns anywhere near. The Matri, however, has reached the edge of the map, and he should be focusing on Fozzie right now because he's got much lower perma, but...
They might not know that. Matri's going to get in here. Fozzie's going to slam right into him, and what a ram from Fozzie the Pyra. Just absolutely obliterating that Mobula, and that is the problem with those Mobulas. They are so weak, and a nice ram can just absolutely wreck one of their days, and now we got 4 minutes left. And Sacrilege is in scramble mode.
Oh yes, I mean they have got to. I mean they can't outrun. I mean I guess not outrun, but out approach a Permidian. I mean they can just Cake at this point can just backpedal around the map for a couple of minutes.
And we'll see if that happens. Now, with those long-range guns, Sacrilege still definitely has a chance. Foster the Pyro is at way low health. I mean, if you strip the armor, that thing is dead. And,
Yeah,
you
but
get maybe a
Foster
couple of merc
Peter-
shots.
But he's the sniper one, isn't he? Yeah. So if he's getting in close, he's doing something wrong. I'm sure the going on between the pilots right now is, Cake Barriers body block for me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And there's long range. There's not a whole lot of armor
they're
stripping.
in-
They've only got the merc from that extreme long range. They do have the Hades, of course, but oh my God, that actually hit Fozzie the Pyra.
And they're never gonna. Oh, never mind.
I'm surprised because I was gonna say most of those Hades shots have actually just completely whiffed this entire game. A few of those are pretty close, but it's gonna be really hard to hit the correct ship in this case. And I don't think they know just how low Fozzie the Pyra's health is.
Yeah. I mean, when that nose breaks on the Piri, I mean I think personally, I think the broken nose on the Piri is the most obvious, almost dead ship indicator. But it breaks so comparatively early.
No,
at-
this
at
is
just under half.
This is actually getting into a really bad position here for Cake. These two Mobulas have closed the distance an incredible amount in a
But look,
very
there's
short
the
time.
battleship right back there that they can just take cover behind, and there's no way that they're going to be able to catch up in 3 minutes. Yep, that's where they're going. They're going to the battleship,
Yep,
and Fozzie,
Cake
who's
can only hope.
the trouble child, is definitely safe now.
All right, there we go. Now they might have to just cut their backward momentum right here, and we'll see if they can just hide around here. But you can still, of course, get up around here, and Cake is just in. They're in a holding by a string time right now, and Sacrilege is in that panicky
Kill,
push,
kill, kill.
push,
Yeah.
push, must push. And the problem is that the only ship that they have spotted is the Cake Barriers, and once again, they're going to be shooting at the full health ship, and then not Fozzie the Pyro, who's almost at no hull left.
Who appears to be retreating to the ribs, which of course offer much better cover than our friend, you sunk my battleship right here.
Yeah, Cake Barriers. Oh, they got to watch out on the hull! Oh, no. That was
That was
bad.
a tough bump. Their momentum's gone. Half their hull armor's gone now too.
And they continue, but those Hades still not hitting, and this is the terrible thing with the Hades. If you do not have somebody who can hit with at least like 3/4 of a clip in Hades, it's going to be incredibly hard for you to get any sort of armor stripping going on, as we've got 1 minute left
1
here.
minute. Hold on, guys. You can. I believe in you.
Yep, Cake Barrier is now trying a little bit of vertical movement, but I'm not sure if this was the best move, as they are completely, in the middle of these fire arcs from both
here
these ships.
comes
Now, and here
the
comes the
guy.
Gatling. Oh no, Cake Barrier is in horrible
much
trouble,
time?
as we barely have any time left in Cake Barrier. There goes the armor. Oh my God, here comes the shots, and will the Cake Barrier survive?
How much time? How many seconds?
Armor is down once again. Cake Barrier still, they're barely hanging on here. It's
30
Fozzie
seconds.
the Pyra.
No, it's not possible. There's way less than that.
Oh my God, Hurricane Walter and Matri trying their damnedest to get him down. Oh, Hurricane Walter actually lost his armor in the meantime. Fozzie the Pirate did come back, return some fire. Oh no! Oh, spots are gone! Spots are gone!
Spots are gone. Watch
They
the
can't
thing.
see them anymore.
Fozzie,
15
watch
seconds.
the
Oh,
thing.
Fuzzy! Oh, wow!
Oh my God.
Fozzie the Pirate almost,
losing hair.
almost
Turning
killing
gray.
himself here.
I
15
think that's it.
seconds.
I think
And
that's
game, and
That's
oh
game.
my God,
my
what an
God.
insane
Oh my
ending
God.
here. Sacrilege almost pulling off that kill. Holy Jesus. That has got to be one of the most nerve-wracking things I have ever seen for any ship going on. My God.
Gonna break, right?
Yeah,
Blood
well.
pressure returned to human levels.
Well,
Oh, God.
Cake pulls out the victory.
Birthday.
Happy birthday. Yeah. Barely scraping out the victory, I should say. But they do still do it. And it was against Sacrilege, possibly one of the toughest teams in this division.
I'm just speechless.
James, how you doing?
I am like gray hair. Blood pressure is so high. I've got 911 here, ready to call. Oh my gosh, I am. Wow. For all of you who turned in late, Cake is my babies. Cake are my people. And Sac, of course, a very, very, very difficult, very good team on a very snipey map, bringing very snipey builds against very. Oh my gosh, I am very. That was an amazing game. Like, I usually don't watch sniping games because I had the idea that they were boring and long and drawn out, but that was probably one of the most exciting matches I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, that was an insane end there. Sacrilege just, they were so close at least 2 or 3 times, and that dust cloud, that cursed dust cloud, dropped the spots on Cake, and that allowed them to just get away at the end there. I'm not sure if they would have been able to survive if those spots hadn't disappeared. Still, incredibly tough fight there for both these teams. Cake will prevail. They will win that with a 2-1 score. And we are going to go on a little break here. And
Thank
when
God.
we come back, it will be Sky Invading Rhinos versus The Art of Warfare, of course. I am Imagine42. Just call me Imagine, though. And with me here today is James T. Kirk.
Just call me Kirk.
Do have a second stream going on. Here we go. And there is the dual stream link, so go ahead and watch that as there is streams going on both sides. I'm not sure if their match is still going on, but do give them a watch as well, and you can do whatever you want as far as whoever you want to have unmuted, but it should be us.
Did you hear how excited we got? That was casting, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so we're going to go into a little break here. We'll be back in about... wait, this isn't right. Next match starts at 5:30. Haha. That's what was wrong. So we'll be back in about 4 or 5 minutes to give you a preview for the next match with the Sky Invading Rhinos against the Art of Warfare. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.